Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group. You are the broker.com and Home Care Access. So is you ain't ready for another roadside chat. Forgive me if I'm sweating a little bit. Have a nice little glean off my 21-year-old Olympic athlete bald head. I just finished working out. It's funny when you're traveling and you go into these gyms and you pay $20 for a day membership, whatever, and you're in and out in 30 minutes. They're all like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Listen, I'm a 21-year-old Olympic athlete. I'm at the top of my game. I'm at the top looking down. I'm good. It's all I need is simple maintenance. All I need is simple maintenance. I don't need to be training 2-4 hours a day. Ain't gotta do that." So a lot to discuss, folks. A lot going on. A lot going on with a lot of different things. I don't even know where to start. But I was in the gym just thinking about stuff and going through everything, and it's like, man, there's a lot. There's a lot going on in the business and industry, the economy, this fake economy, completely manipulated economy. It's going to collapse. Where to start? Working with a lot of buyers and sellers, which is awesome. Doing a number of business valuations. One of them, here's where we'll start. Working on an interesting valuation because I was actually retained by an attorney to value this business because he represents one of the owners. The two partners are splitting. Now, it wasn't too long ago I made a video talking about the benefits of partnerships. Partnerships, hey man, when they work, they're awesome. It's like partnerships are like a marriage. It's they can be hard, they can be tough. They're awesome when they work and they work well. But whatever happens, if you have to break up that partnership, you want to go right, he wants to go left. You want to go one way, she wants to go the other. It can get ugly really quick, and that's when problems happen. So everybody goes into business and partnerships with, blue skies, sun shining, wind at your back, but it doesn't always work out like that. So you have to be very prudent, very pragmatic, very smart in how you move forward with partnerships, how you structure them. You got to be very, very honest with yourself in who you partner with. I talked about in one of those previous videos, you got to be equally yoked, man. Because if that business goes south for whatever reason, the business that I'm talking about right now that I'm doing this valuation on, they're actually doing well. 7-figure business, been doing well. But the two partners have been butting heads for a little while now. I tend to believe, I don't have any hard proof or concrete affirmation other than what I really learned from this attorney who's talked to me about it. It sounds to me like they got some issues with spouses and all that kind of stuff, which just further adds to the pot and stirs it up and makes things just tough for the partners. So that's why when you do get a partnership, you gotta look beyond just the person. You gotta look at their circumstances. Some people just look, oh, he's very good at this. All right, well, what's he bringing to the table? Not just skill set. What's he bringing to the table financially? What's he bringing to the table baggage-wise? Who is he or she married to? Or are they going to be a pain in the butt? Are they going to have distractions in their life? Are they going to be full-time, part-time? What are the roles? What are the expectations? How do you structure that agreement? There's a lot of different things you could do to structure your agreement to protect yourself. Again, I'm the biggest advocate of partnerships, especially when they're not competing with you. You don't want to be in a situation where you're competing with a partner. You want to be equally yoked, but have different strengths. Just like the Bible says about marriage. You want to be, because I say it's like a marriage, because guess what, man, when it goes south, you are literally getting a divorce, and it can get ugly fast. And that's why the valuation is so important, because now if you got to sell the business, liquidate the business, sell it as an equity, sell it as an asset, what's it worth? How do you break this up? How do you sell it? How do you transition it? How do you split the funds? How do you split the proceeds? So there's a lot to be considered. That's why one thing, especially for partnerships, I'll give you an example. We have a lot of people that we're working with right now who, let's say they own an EMT business, but they bring in a partner to help start, launch, run, operate their home care agency. That works out really well in a situation like that, because they're not necessarily competing, they're complementing each other. And that partner, depending on what they bring to the table, are they a 50-50? Are they a minority partner? Are they a limited partner? What do those things look like? Those are all key variables, things to consider. Some of the best partnerships, again, I'm all about strategic partnerships. I got a lot of different partnerships for a lot of different things I do. And I talked about in a previous video how I started to transition my broker business, and now I'm taking my regional directors and I'm literally making them limited partners. They're legal partners now. So the dynamics are changing, and it puts more burden, more responsibility on them, gives them a greater stake, and at the same time it frees me up, which that's the goal. That's the real benefit of a partnership, is being able to exponentially increase your productivity, increase margins, increase how much work you get done. That's the purpose of it. But again, if you don't handle it properly, man, they go south really quick. So so we're working with a lot of different companies right now. A lot of people are. We have some good projects in the works right now. Different buyers and sellers, because these are crazy times. Some people are. This is a buyer's market for certain things, So some people are selling. And how do you do that? Because right now, you look at the banks. I mean, they're tightening up how much they're lending out. Interest rates are going higher. What's it look like? What do you do? Not too long ago, I made another video. I talked about my buddy Manny here. We got him going, and we closed on his business, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. And man, that was just a great deal. That was a great deal. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole talking about it, because it reveals some of the strategies that I don't want to disclose, especially because of all those White Walkers and the bubblegum chasers who watch this channel, and got to be careful what we share. Those White Walker advisors and the bubblegum chasers are absolutely crazy. But when the banks are limiting how much they're putting out, or if they're higher interest rates, that's when you just got to get more creative. You got to get more creative in how you structure your deals. We were in a great situation with Manny's deal, because let's face it, man, inflation is still high. It's actually gone down a little bit. Inflation's actually gone down a little bit, marginal at best, but it doesn't matter. There's so much calamity going on, it's irrelevant. So you got high inflation, you got high interest rates. People have to do more with less. So it put us in a position. We had a motivated seller who, in my opinion, was making poor decisions. It's too bad. Someone like him, had he retained my services back in the day, he would have been in a better situation. But guess what? He didn't. Instead, Manny hired me. So we were able to come up with a creative solution to help Manny get a good business. So the deals are there. It's just that if it depends on how much we need for financing, and how much money comes out of pocket, what type of creative solutions you come with. But especially with all the craziness going on right now, look, it's at the end of the day, if there's four things that I would want all of you to focus on. 4 things. I talked about this in other videos. Build, grow, scale, sell at a multiple. That's the play. How do you build, grow, scale your business, sell at a future multiple? Obviously, one way you don't do it is by going all in with the brokers. You know, if brokers are going to be low end ROI, it makes it very difficult to build, grow, scale, sell at a multiple. It's hard to do that. It's about, and I'm all about the cash flow. We need cash flow. So some people say, well, listen, here's the deal. At least if you go with the broker, you can start making cash flow quicker. But is it profitable? I mean, again, we're dealing with businesses. I'm seeing 7-figure businesses with, you could argue that's good cash flow, but dude, what are you really keeping? What are you making? I got someone who thinks I'm the great Satan because I won't help him sell his business. He's a 7-figure business, 10% margin, and he's 100% broker. I mean, 10%, we're not in business to make 10%. Yeah, we want cash flow. Yeah, you can get good cash flow, but if we're not keeping anything, what good is it? We need good, positive cash flow. We need some good ROI. One of our client providers, love him, great dude. Working with him for a long time now. Gonna meet him this fall. His daughter goes to a good university. So I told him, I said, hey, we're gonna meet. When I was playing with the Colts, we had a preseason game at this university. We played the Saints. I told him, I said, hey, you know what? I was there before. I like that. Let's meet. We're gonna go there. We're gonna meet this fall for a football game. And but anyways, great dude. So we purchased this business last August, maybe July, August. When he purchased the business, he had multiple broker accounts. One of them was with Logisticrat, now Motive Care. They had to change their name because they had to rebrand because the brand sucks. So when he purchased the business, and he got a good deal on it, he got it on the cheap. I think there was a lot of skeletons in the closet he took on he wasn't anticipating, but regardless, at the end of the day, he still got a decent deal on it. But Motive Crap was he was making $14,000 or $15,000 a month, if I recall correctly, with Motive Crap, and he cut him off. No money, no ROI. What good is that money if all you're doing is beating down your vehicles, having HR problems? The more employees you got, the more you got to deal with, more scheduling issues, this and that. It cuts them all off because there's no ROI. There was no money with Motive Crap. So he cuts them off, kept the other 2 or 3 brokers there because at least they were marginal, making a little bit. And we're using that as a platform to build, grow, and scale, get our direct accounts, things like that. Anyway, so a year goes by and a Motive Crap contacts him again and says, hey, got a great deal for you. We want to help you build your business. It is classic, what I always say, it is classic Joel Davis. I know that the brokers always say it. Yeah, I know these are lower ROI, but we're going to give you a lot of volume. We're going to give you a lot. You're going to make up for it. Dude, if I'm drowning in 10 feet of water, the last thing I need is 5 more feet of water. I'm good. I could drown in 10 feet successfully. I don't need more. Why take on the headaches or heartaches of the additional 5 feet of water? So anyways, I said, hey, look, here's the deal. If they're coming back at you, they obviously need you. They're like, hey, we're going to help you build your business. We're going to give you more volume. I said, well, look, here's the deal. Let's start the conversation at, you got to meet these rates. You got to meet these rates of this other broker that actually have some decent rates. And we want you giving us all your stretcher work. Oh, no. We can't go those rates. Okay, then why are we wasting our time? And not just that, most of the chips they wanted to give us was, boom, ambulatory and wheelchair. And they were garbage runs. So again, these jokers are going to come at you. We're going to help you build your business. No, you're not. You're not helping me build my business. In fact, I'm helping you. I'm helping you solve your problem. You're not helping me build my business. I'm going the opposite direction. So long story short, obviously, we're not going to take on something like that, take on that nonsense. It doesn't make sense. Again, build, grow, and scale. Strong, positive, profitable cash flow. Push it through our system. Limit our exposure to liability. Move the money around legally as necessary. Put it where we need it to be. It's all about risk management. Risk management is critical. Risk management is critical for any business. None more so than something in the transportation industry. It's risk management is a critical component. So you want to make sure you limit your exposure to liability. So build strong, positive cash flow, push it through your system. But again, how are you going to get there? Build, grow, scale, strong, positive cash flow, sell at a future multiple. You're not going to get there if all you're doing is that low-hanging fruit, all that motive crap, all that broker nonsense. And you got to collect your money. I got another dude. Love this dude. Great dude. In fact, if you're watching this, you know who you are and you know I love you. And make sure you email me back, because I just sent you a lengthy email. You got to collect your money. You've got to collect your money. Great dude, working with him for a long time. He's working hard, man. He's working hard. He runs a BLS, an NEMT, and a home care agency. He's working with Marty and Ginny with Home Care Access. We've got him lined up. They're doing good. They're helping him out with that, and he wants to further get more accounts, build his client base for his BLS and NEMT. And I told him, I said, look, we also have an operational problem here. We have an operational problem because we're getting more and more money in arrears. That money has got to be collected. The money has got to be collected. So, again, it's about the cash flow. Cash flow is key. Cash flow is key. It's the lifeblood of the business, but it's got to be profitable. But ultimately, you could have great ROI per trip, but if you're not collecting that money, then we got a problem. So that's where you've got to be very strong, very stringent in how you enforce your agreements. For you White Walker advisors, how would you advise that? How would you advise that? For those of you new to the channel, the White Walker advisor. The White Walkers are those people who are just all about the freebie stuff. They're the ones who email us every 5 minutes. Well, how do I do this? How do I do that? No, I'm not gonna spend $97 on the ebook. Oh, I don't need his help. I'll figure it out. Okay, you do that. Or they go to all the fake group chats and they follow all the free advice from the people who've never done it themselves. Never done it. They're gonna tell you, I got a multi-million-dollar business. Oh, wait a minute, you can't talk right now. Why not? Oh, I gotta do this trip. Dude, you're faking a phony. If I want to be a multi-millionaire, I want to learn from a multi-millionaire. Fact. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's why all these people who are all about writing their books and doing their seminars, but like, what? So you could teach people how to drive? That's not the goal. The goal is not to drive. I'm sorry. The goal is not to drive. Did I start my business driving? Yes. But as I tell everybody, I always knew the more I drive, the more I lose. Fact. Fact. It's just that clear cut. The more I drive, the more I lose. I got to be out building, growing, scaling. I can't be driving. So everybody, oh yeah, I got a $2 million business. Oh yeah. Hold my beer. I gotta go pick this guy up. Dude, you're a fake and a phony. Sorry, man. That's why everybody hates me. Because I don't feed into their nonsense, because they're all fake and phonies. If you ain't done it, you ain't done it. Stop trying to act like you done it. You're a poser. You're a poser. And you got the bubblegum chasers. All the bubblegum chasers chasing the bubblegum money. Chasing the bubblegum money. If you don't respond to me in 1 hour, I'm going to cancel my membership to UMTPG. And I'm going to get a refund for my $47. Dude, you're chasing bubblegum money. Go chase your brokers. Go get your brokers, your low ROI, your low-hanging fruit. Stack all your little packages of bubblegum. Chase your bubblegum money. As I digress. So you got to get real money, real accounts, but you got to collect. You got to collect those loop backs. So what's that look like? So White Walker advisors, how would you advise your people who got great accounts, got great per trip ROI, but now some of these facilities are getting backed up, they're not paying? How do you advise them? How are you advising your people? What would you do? How do you advise them so you don't upset the balance of the earth and you maintain the account, you just get them to be better payers? What do you do? And then you gotta be, look, you can't transport people for free. It's like people contact us all the time, and they're like, "Oh, I really need a mentor. I really need someone to help me." Oh, I got to pay for it? Ooh, nah, I don't need them that bad. Everyone wants it for free, and it's just like in your transportation business. Everyone's gonna, is this a free service? Yeah, I'm looking for free transportation. Can you help me? I'm looking for a free transportation. You can't transport people for free. Just like we don't provide free services because, dude, my people got to make money. It is what it is. This is why I play the long game. I play the long game. This is why you've got to be very careful. Man, it sounds so cliche. Maybe I really do need to start going into the fluffy talk. All the people who do all the LinkedIn feel-good fluffy talk, and they're all hashtag work hard, hashtag life's short, play hard, hashtag give it your best, hashtag live your best life now. All those fluffy hashtag now. Maybe I should really do that, because then people would stop hating me so much. Hashtag this is your best life, live your best life now, hashtag. God, it's such hollow Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram horse crap. No roadmap, no real nuggets of information, all group chat nonsense. Oh man, hashtag just give it up to the universe. Hashtag the universe is there to help you. What's that mean? How's that help me? Wait a minute, I got $60,000 in arrears right now. I gotta collect from all these facilities. Oh wait, hashtag live your best life now. Okay, no, I get it. That's maybe I should just write that in my signature. Hashtag live your best life now, and then all those facilities are gonna pay me my money. Maybe that'll work. It's crazy. It's crazy the nonsense we see. So everybody wants it for free, man. So those are the White Walkers and the White Walker advisors, the people who are all mediating these group chats, giving you all this advice, but they haven't done it themselves, or they're on the verge of going out of business. You got to ask yourself, man, because here's the deal. I play the long game. I want to see people build, grow, and scale, have strong positive cash flow, push it through their system, put themselves in a position where they can sell it a multiple. That's ultimately where Joel Davis makes ching-ching, is when I'm helping people buy and sell. Okay, all that other stuff is low-hanging fruit that just pays for my people, which are awesome, and I love them. So you got to say to yourself, man, do I want to listen to this dude who hasn't done it himself? And do I trust him enough? Is he going to be able to help me build, grow, and scale, sell it a multiple? If he can't help me sell it a multiple, how's he going to help me build, grow, and scale? I'm just asking for a friend, because that's one thing that baffles me, because we get so much just gobbledygook, nonsense, BS emails from so many people. Trust me, I'm not trying to belittle anyone who's sending us emails. Some of you send us awesome emails. You guys are the ones we love working with. You're awesome. But other people who send us just the gobbledygook nonsense. And then once they find out, oh, we're not a free service, so I gotta pay. That's when the wheels fall off their bus. But again, it's like in your transportation business. You can't transport people for free, but that doesn't stop it from asking. So I told you this is gonna be an interesting rant. There's so much going on, man. How about that inflation, man? How about that inflation? Like I say, it's going down a little bit, but it doesn't matter. It's still high. It's like, so my kids, they're 5 and 7. And, I teach them about finances, and it's like I explain to them for like, let's say I take them through a drive-through. Dude, seriously, what is the cost of a what do you call it? Not a Happy Meal, like a regular meal. Like you get a hamburger fry and a meal deal. What's the cost of a meal deal? I mean, you're looking at like $12 minimum coming out of the gate for the same crappy hamburger that you got 10 years ago, 20 years ago, with the same fries and the same drink. You pay $12, $15 for it, depending on where you are. Dude, 10, 20 years ago, same crappy burger, same crappy fries, same sugary soda was $3, $4, $5 tops. You get the same thing. That's inflation. That's all inflation. You're getting the same crap, but it's just costing you so much more. Gas, insurance, everything's going up. How's that working out for you? How's that working out for you? I know so many of you guys, man, you regret that vote. You regret that vote. You miss those days of the business, man. Oh man, but the battlefield is so beautiful, man. Battlefield is so beautiful right now, the way things are developing. But right now, we're all suffering. Interest rates are high. Again, like I say, so you got inflation, high interest rates. This is why things are going to crash. Look at the real estate market. Look at the housing market. Look at the commercial. Look at commercial real estate. Commercial real estate, man, that thing's tanking. Commercial real estate is going to go bust. And real estate is all, I mean, there's key indicators you want to look for. This is why things are going to crash. This is why, for how long have I been saying, I told you from Jump Street, when Sleepy Creepy Dementia Patient came in, I said, dude, you got to focus on strong positive cash flow. Anything you got to do to build multiple streams of income to get that cash flow up. This is why you don't just want cash flow from low ROI, from motive crap and the brokers nonsense. You need direct paying, direct contract. You need strong positive cash flow because you're going to need, because things are going to crash. Things are going to crash. All indicators are there. High inflation, high interest rate, retail, the commercial real estate market, going to crash. Housing market, boom, going to crash. Look at the bond market. Look at the bond market. Everyone's dumping the dollar. Globally, let's not get twisted. All the indicators are there. Everyone's dumping the dollar. The bond market is in absolute chaos. No one has confidence in it. I mean, you got all this quantitative easing. It's like you can't, I mean, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, quantitative easing is simply just printing more money. Printing more money. That's all our government does. Print more money. Print more money. Ship it over to Ukraine. Ship it over to wherever. It's nonsense, man. Quantitative easing. Killing us. Absolutely killing us. Look at the banks. You look at like, you know, we're in 2023. You look at go back to like 2000. Go back just over 20 years ago. You had something crazy. It was like back then, you had something in the U.S. You literally had like 44,000 different banks in the U.S. Different bank organizations, okay? You got the same bank with multiple branches, obviously, different locations. But literally 20 years ago, you had something like 44,000 different banks across the U.S. Now, there's literally like 4,200. I mean, it's again, don't quote me on the exact numbers, but I'm not far off. It's literally 20 years ago, we had like 44,000 different banks across the U.S. We have a fraction of that, a small fraction. We're like 4,200. It's crazy. All the ingredients are there for what's coming. And there's going to be a lot of pain, man. That's why you have absolutely got to have strong, positive, cash flowing businesses now. Oh, Joel, but I got great cash flow. We're doing 7 figures. We're all motive crap. Southeast Trans, all these other brokers that are popping up in every single street corner. Dude, they're low-hanging fruit. It's low ROI, and as everything collapses and everything skyrockets, you're trapped. You are trapped. You have a ticking time bomb. You are trapped. Because I promise you, just like the example I gave you a short time ago, where my buddy who motive crap said, hey, we're going to help you with your business. You used to do $14,000 a month when he bought the business over a year ago. He cuts them off because it's low ROI. They contact him a year and a half, 2 years later. Oh, we're going to help you build your business. We're going to help you grow your business. This is that. Oh, but you're going to give me garbage runs at garbage rates. If he were to accept something like that, and he's stuck in those, yeah, he has some cash flow coming through, but it's not positive cash flow. When everything tanks, and everything is going to tank, when it does, he would get crushed. He would get crushed. So the smartest thing he's doing is not accepting that nonsense. Because other people, I'm telling you right now, other people would, you gonna give me more runs? You gonna give me more runs? Okay, master. Logistic crap. Okay, I'll sign up with you. Okay. But now on the flip side, you know, we got my other client provider, great dude, who doing great. But now we have some issues where we gotta collect. We gotta collect that money. Got great ROI, great per trip ROI, but dude, it's like, come on, man, you gotta collect that money now. That's why we gotta handle that. The thing, and here's the thing, man. Here's a little bit of a caveat. another thing to consider, and this is big, man. This is big. And some of you who've been watching this channel for a long time, you know. So, man, pay close attention. For those of you who've been following me for several years now, what was I saying for the longest time about AI? What was I saying for the longest time about AI? This is how my broker business is taking off. And for those of you new to the channel, my broker business has nothing to do with Medicaid or any MT or anything associated with that. My broker business is all about logistics. We do all different types of transportation, express moves, all this type of stuff. It has nothing to do with any MT or anything associated with that. But what did I say years ago, all about what's happening with AI? And is it not coming true right now? Is it not coming to pass right now? And the thing is that when things crash, when all this nonsense crashes, dude, you got to look beyond. If you're an NEMT provider, if you're a home care provider right now, you got to look beyond that. What happens to anything and everything when everything crashes here soon? Those jobs, they get replaced by AI. Go into any store, go into any grocery store, go into any Walmart or something like that. What do you see more of? Self-checkout. So many things are being replaced by AI. That's why at the end of the day, the NEMT home care are key plays. Starting your broker business, youarethebroker.com, key play. It's a key play. So here's why, again, this is why you don't waste your time with that nonsensical, low-hanging fruit, BS, ambulatory broker work. The stupidest thing you could ever do, all right, here's a golden nugget. Here's a golden nugget for those of you who are newbies, for you new White Walkers, for you new bubblegum chasers. The last thing you do is pay top dollar for insurance, pay top dollar for maintenance, for gas, and all that kind of stuff to start your NEMT with just a sedan or driving your own personal vehicle and only transport ambulatory. Stupidest play you could do. Because you could pay the same amount for insurance, if not more, because you're going to go into a high-risk pool as you would for a wheelchair vehicle. And you're going to get what? Low-hanging fruit. You're going to get the lowest ROI trips. They're going to give you garbage runs. You're going to lose. Look at rideshare. Why do all these rideshare companies, all these tech companies, again, I talked about it in my previous videos. Look at all these brokers. Dude, brokers are popping up on every flipping street corner right now. We used to be able to know who was who and where was where. We can't even keep track of it anymore. They're absolute. They're like a mold. They just keep growing everywhere, like weeds. And if you look at their fine print, what are they all? They're all tech companies. They all classify themselves as tech company because they're all about their apps. They're all about their apps, and they're giving low ROI. And were they heavily based? Ambulatory. What's the long-term play? Driverless cars. Why do so many of these managed care organizations, the HMOs, why do so many of them who have ambulatory work, why do they all partner with the Ubers and the Lyfts? Why do they even have like Uber Health and all that kind of stuff? They are going to make a killing with driverless cars. I've been talking about this for years, the AI play for years. Again, if you've been with me for a long time, you know, and it's all here. What's the big topic in the news? One of many. AI. So when everything crashes here soon, and the crash is coming, when things do start to come back, guess what? They're going to be replaced with AI. So this is why you, as an NEMT provider, you want to be heavy wheelchair. And I'm not talking about your curb-to-curb, typical fixed-route paratransit nonsense. You want to be a door-through-door service. You want to be stretcher-based in those states where you could do stretchers. Home care. It's like that's going to be a harder play to replace home care until we go full Jetsons and we got robots in every house. Home care is a play, man. It's a strong play. Your broker business. I mean, the beautiful thing about broker work is like, dude, you can automate a lot of things, but a lot of things you can't do. You're still or it's gonna take a lot longer. And then you take a broker business where, especially if you're going with 1099 contractors, and you're basically just building your own network, and you're out of the game altogether. Now it's just about you literally building a network, and your network is your net worth. It's a beautiful thing. We got some people who just came on as licensees. We got 2 of them, and they're both they want to start. They literally want to own. And I told them, I said, look, when I started my broker business, we did it. We owned some box trucks. I had to figure it out, see what works, what doesn't. And then when I started to figure it out, I started to bring on contractors. I owner financed the trucks to my crews, and they became direct contractors. So I basically threw money at the system to get them going, and then finance the vehicles. So these guys, so if I'm not against you. If you want to start with your own box truck, if you're like, all right, I want to get in, I want to dig the ditch and learn every aspect of the ditch, I get that. As long as it's not your long-term play. As long as it's not your long-term play. So, one of the most common questions with something like that is, how, if you start with a box truck, what's that look like? I tell people, honestly, like a 16-footer. 16, even if it was 14, you could make it work. Once you go beyond, like, let's say 18, I think 16 is the real ideal play, because especially based upon all the work that we've done over the years and the distances we've traveled with different things, 16 gives you just enough to get the job done. You can get into smaller areas. If you go into more urban communities, it's tough to take a big rig in there. 16-footer lets you do different things. Even something like as foolish as, like, if you're going to help somebody, whether you're delivering something, moving something, you got to even think of things like, you got to drive on their lawn. If you can't do that with a big rig, you're going to tear it all up. Then you got a bigger problem. 16-footer, you could do different things. It's easier when you're taking it, because a lot of times, like, let's say you're delivering a living room suite for somebody, and you go drop off all the furniture. What do you do with the old stuff? Our contractor, he hauls them off, takes it to the dump. You charge for all that, so you take those things to the dump to get rid of them. It's easier to do that with a 16-footer, and obviously you charge for all those things. Those are all ancillary services. That's why the broker business, man, the sky's the limit. There's so many different things you could do with it, but that's why I needed to take my regional directors and turn them into partners, because we've just been growing ever since. And it's like, I don't want to say it's becoming too much, but it's like, in order for me to take care of other things, it was becoming too much. It's like, how do I transition? How do I alleviate some of the growing burden? Because the opportunity is only growing. And again, man, there's a lot of things that, when this thing crashes and you got things being replaced by AI, and these things aren't all by accident, man. These things are not all by accident, man. A lot of this is social engineering, man. A lot of these things are social engineering, so the wackos can try to hit their key objective, their goals. But the battlefield is absolutely delicious, man. A lot of good things happening. A lot of people, ask me about, like, real estate. Again, the real estate market right now, it's, especially commercial real estate, is tanking. It's gonna, like, implode on itself. The real estate market is tough. Look, I'm not against real estate. I totally get it, man. I'm all for it. But again, the big thing with me with real estate is there's a lot of different ways to make money with real estate. So I'm not bagging on it. I see the long-term play. Buy it, hold it, asset appreciates. I get all that. Passive income, rent, I get all that. The tenant pays down the mortgage. Here's the problem, man. What happens when you get a vacancy? What happens when you get a vacancy? People are like, oh yeah, when your mortgage is $1,000 and you're collecting $1,200, and that's $200 passive cash flow. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. That's bubblegum money. That's bubblegum money. And it's even worse when you get a vacancy and it's hard to fill. And then what? What if they crash your place? What if they wreck it? What if they create damages? And then, and I get it, man. It's depreciate. I get it. I'm well in tune with the real estate game. I used to own a lot of real estate. I get all that. But it's like, I prefer strong, positive, cash flowing businesses, and I push it through my system, and boom, it's like, I got no regrets. I'd rather have stronger, positive cash flow, more freedom, more flexibility, more creative opportunities, and it gives you just greater peace of mind. Peace of mind. I get to do more with less. I love it. I love it. So I'm not against real estate. A lot of people ask me that. I'm not against real estate. Real estate's a good play. I get all that, but I'm I'm just saying, it's just not for me. At least not right now. I used to do a lot of real estate back in the day, but too many things, too many bigger opportunities. I don't have time for it right now. Again, I'm not against it. Some of you who, and again, I know I'm just rambling. And there's some of you out there, you're watching this. You go radio silent on us. Working with you, and I get it. You're busy. Everyone's busy, but it's like I can't chase you. So what happens is you go radio silent. Some people go radio silent strictly because they're busy. I get that. There's other people that go radio silent because they're like, I think I got this figured out. I think I'm gonna do this my way. And then you do your way. But when it doesn't work out, then all of a sudden, when you hit that wall, then it's like, all right, you know what? Maybe I better contact the 21-year-old Olympic athlete. Maybe I better contact that 21-year-old Olympic athlete, that international sex symbol with no worldly experience. Maybe I better contact him. So just know I'm not gonna chase you. I'm not gonna chase you. You know who you are. So you just whatever you're doing, man, I hope it's working. So, what else? I told you this was just going to be a ramble because there's so much. So, I'm in the gym. I go in the gym. I'm in there for about 30 minutes. And, because I'm always thinking, plotting, planning. It's like when I used to be a fat man, it's like I always told everybody, while everyone's sleeping, fat man's creeping. And you let people sleep on you. That's why you guard what you put in your mind. You guard who you share your ideas, your thoughts, your strategies with. That's why, again, when it comes to a partnership, you got to be equally yoked. And I think that's one thing why so many of our one-on-one clients, they love working with someone like us, my team, and me, because we are that unbiased, objective, third party. Because look, man, people will tell you, man, it's not guaranteed I'm gonna tell you what you want to hear. If your stuff is legit, I'm gonna tell you, dude, legit. If your stuff is jacked up, I'm gonna tell you, you're jacked up. I'm gonna try to help you, obviously. If it's jacked up, we're gonna try to fix that for sure. But it's like, you don't retain my service and think I'm just gonna co-sign everything you do. That's not the goal. The goal is to help you build, grow, scale, get strong positive cash flow, push it through your system, sell the future multiple. Boom, that's the play. That's the formula. So all you bubblegum chasers, all you White Walkers, all you White Walker advisors, that is the magic formula. Build, grow, scale, strong positive cash flow, push it through your system, and then sell at a future multiple. That's it. It's just that simple. But from point A to point B, there's a long process. There's a lot of strategy, tactics, a lot of operational situations that need to be resolved and managed and overcome. There's a lot to it. And that's where we come into play to help you not just strategize, develop the right tactics, but make the best operation possible. So the more efficient you are, the more effective you are, the more profitable you are. So we're all ingredients in the same stew. Build, grow, scale, get the strongest positive cash flow, push it through your system, sell a future multiple. Boom, there's the play. There's the play. I mean, how do you get people who start with a single vehicle and X number of years later, they're selling for 1.5, they're selling for 2.5, they're selling for 3 million? It's doable. It's doable. We've had people, the biggest deal that we worked on for an AMT was 5.3, and that guy, boom, started by himself, single vehicle. I love it. I love those stories. I mean, look, that's where I started with a single vehicle. So I'm all for humble beginnings, starting in your living room. It's not about where you start, it's about where you finish. Well, how do you get there? How do you get from point A to point B? It's a long process. Sometimes it's gonna suck, and you gotta enjoy the suck. You gotta enjoy it's not that you like the taste of it, but you gotta be able to take it. You gotta be able to take it. So, anyways, I'm sure there's a million and one things that I was thinking about in the gym. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go shoot this video when I get in the car, and I'm sure I forgot half of it. I'll think of it once I cut out the video. But anyways, I told you this was gonna be another roadside chat. I hope some of you guys learned something. I know some of you watching this, you need to hear some of this. But you gotta take action. You gotta take action. I'm telling you, man, everything is there for what's gonna collapse. And this collapse is gonna be rough. The collapse is gonna be rough because our economy, our markets are absolutely fictitious. Absolutely fictitious, fake, phony, fugazi, whatever you want to call it. Propped up nonsense. And it's going to collapse. And here's why it's going to be worse than like 2008. And I would argue, I don't know enough about it, but I do know that if you compared it to something even 100 years ago, the 1929 crash, dude, we're on such a grander scale with debt, national debt, that it's just mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. So then you take all the ingredients put together, the inflation, the interest rates, the real estate crash that's coming with the commercial and the housing markets, you know, all the printed money, the smaller number of banks, the astronomical debt we have in relation to what we did back then. It's going to be brutal. You absolutely need strong, positive, cash-flowing systems. I don't care what you got to do to get there. You better flippin' get there. When you do, I'll see you at the top.